Europe stands divided, its great powers locked into rival camps, each watching the other with growing unease. On one side are France, Britain, and Russia, bound together by anxiety over a rapidly rising Germany, now the most formidable power on the continent. Opposing them stands Germany itself, fearful of being surrounded by enemies, alongside Austria, struggling to hold together a fragile multinational empire, and Italy calculating opportunities for gain at France's expense. The tension that has built for years finally ignites in the Balkans. In Sarajevo, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne is gunned down by a young Slavic nationalist. The assassination shocks Europe, but its consequences reach far beyond a single city. Vienna places the blame squarely on Serbia, accusing it of supporting the killer, and issues demands designed to humiliate and weaken its rival. Serbia refuses to submit fully. Austro-Hungary responds with war, and its guns soon thunder across the Danube toward Belgrade. Russia, seeing itself as protector of the Slavic world, feels compelled to act. The Tsar orders his vast army to prepare for war. In Berlin, the German emperor stands firmly behind his Austrian ally. German leaders believe a clash with Russia is unavoidable, and that delay will only strengthen their enemies. Russian preparations become the justification Germany needs. Mobilization follows, and war is declared. German strategy has long anticipated this moment. War with Russia means war with France, and Germany plans to defeat its western rivals swiftly before turning east. Its armies surge toward France, not directly, but through neutral Belgium, seeking to swing around Paris and crush the French forces in a decisive blow. As the invasion begins, Europe plunges into chaos. Armies numbering in the millions march toward the frontiers. Italy chooses to remain on the sidelines, arguing that its alliance obligations do not apply to a war of aggression. Across the Atlantic, the United States also declares neutrality, determined to stay clear of Europe is a catastrophe. Britain hesitates, bound to France by alliance, but uncertain whether it will fight. That uncertainty ends when German troops violate Belgian neutrality, a guarantee Britain has pledged to uphold. London issues a warning. Berlin ignores it. Britain enters the war. British soldiers cross the Channel as German forces push deeper into Belgium, slowed by stubborn resistance at fortified cities. Civilians suffer terribly as occupying troops commit brutal reprisals. Stories of these acts spread rapidly, hardening opinion against Germany in countries that had hoped to remain neutral. France launches its own offensive, unaware of the scale of the German encirclement sweeping through Belgium. The result is disaster. French and British forces clash with the advancing German armies and are driven back after fierce fighting. The retreat carries them toward Paris, where the fate of France hangs in the balance. Along the river approaches to the capital, the Allies launch a desperate counterstroke. The German advance is halted and forced back. The costs is staggering, and the hope of a quick victory vanishes. Both sides attempt to outmaneuver one another to the north, racing toward the coast in a desperate struggle for advantage. The fighting culminates in brutal battles where neither side breaks. At last, exhausted soldiers begin digging into the earth. From the Channel to the Swiss frontier, trenches scar the landscape. A new and terrible form of warfare is born. At sea, Britain's powerful fleet strikes early, asserting its dominance and sealing off Germany from global trade. The blockade is intended to starve German industry and morale alike. Yet a new weapon soon challenges British control of the oceans. German submarines begin prowling the seas, striking unseen from below and transforming naval warfare forever. In the east, Russian armies pour into German territory, only to be met by swift and devastating German commanders exploit poor coordination and unsecured communications to annihilate entire Russian formations. Further defeats drive Russian forces back, their losses mounting at an alarming rate. Austro-Hungarian armies fare no better. Their invasion of Serbia collapses in humiliation, while their efforts against Russia end in chaos and retreat. Besieged fortresses fold, and Germany is forced to divert troops to stabilize its struggling ally. The Eastern Front becomes a vast, grinding battlefield, stretching across forests, plains, and frozen rivers. The war continues to widen. The Ottoman Empire enters the conflict, striking at Russia and drawing the fighting into the Caucasus and the Middle East. Beyond Europe, battles erupt across Africa, Asia, and the oceans. Colonies are invaded, ports seized, and distant seas become killing grounds for rival fleets. In Africa, a determined German commander conducts a relentless campaign, tying down far greater enemy forces through skill and endurance. In the Pacific, victories and defeats swing rapidly from one side to the other, culminating in decisive naval clashes that destroy entire squadrons. In the Middle East, British forces secure vital ports and oil supplies, ensuring the lifeblood of their navy continues to flow. By winter, the illusion of a short war is gone. Serbia bleeds under repeated invasions but refuses to collapse. Coastal towns in Britain are shelled, bringing the war home to civilians far from the front lines. Offensive after offensive on the Western Front gains little ground at horrific cost. In the frozen mountains of the East, entire armies perish too cold as much as to enemy fire. And yet, amid the mud and wire, there is a fleeting moment of humanity. As winter deepens, soldiers in opposing trenches lay down their weapons, stepping into the shattered land between them. For a brief pause, they share silence, gestures, even games, before the war resumes its merciless course. The world has entered a conflict unlike any before, Bastien Scale global in reach, and devastating in consequence. What began with a single gunshot has become a struggle that will reshape nations, empires, and the course of history itself.